everybody, and welcome back to Jalina Plays, and we are heading into part 3 of James's route. So let's go right into it. With that, I left the dining room and went to my room.
Eric, no. What? I wasn't going to do anything.
Of course not.
Yes, he was.
Shh.
As soon as I got into my room, a wave of exhaustion hit me. Why am I so tired all of a sudden? I just woke up from that nap. I dragged myself to my bed and hauled up one of my bags. I opened it and grabbed my economics book, knowing that no matter how tired I was, I had to study at least a page or two before sleeping at last. The words on the page scrambled in my mind as I read through them, but after 2 or 3 tries, I managed to understand what the page was about. Equations. Finally, I decided to change into my pajamas and head to bed. Today had been a long day and I needed the rest. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. 3 days of surprises in a row would kill me. With that thought in my mind, I drifted to sleep, embracing the darkness of slumber.
You fucking pretty boys think you're all that, huh? Well, save that to the end of my pistol.
You need to calm down. We can't have all that laughter in just this one hit. I just started the video, my dude. Huh? What's going on? I couldn't move my body. I felt like I was tied up and I couldn't see anything beyond the darkness that surrounded me. Yet I could hear the sounds of a heated argument coming at me from all directions.
One move and she gets it.
Let her go!
Matthew?
Come on, chicken shit. Fight us like a real man.
Like you scare me, Sam. Come on. Take one step. I dare ya.
Why can't I see?
Stay away from her, Malix!
And what are you gonna do, nerd boy?
Suddenly I felt myself pulled to one side and arms wrapped around my body protectively.
I've got you. Don't worry.
Oh. Huh? Eric? As I was held in a tight embrace, I felt the world around me once again settle into a low, peaceful hum. The hostility of the dream before had faded into a black as the arms around me rocked me comfortably. Slowly, though, my eyes fluttered open, and I looked up at the person holding me. Damien? I stared into the eyes of Damien. His face was painted with worry and concern, and he knew he must have seen my dream. Why did I dream of Eric holding me, though?
You can't control your dreams.
Oh, well, I guess you're right.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. What time is it?
It's 9 a.m. James and I were making breakfast when I, well...
You can't control your mind reading?
No, not yet at least. I hope to learn eventually, though.
Is everything all right?
Huh? Yeah, I'm all right.
That's good. I'm assuming you had a nightmare.
Yes, I'm sorry for disturbing you both.
You didn't disturb us, miss. Besides, we'd rather make sure you're okay before anything.
James, you're so adorable! Thank you.
Now, why don't you come downstairs with us and have some breakfast? I'm sure some nice food will take your mind off of what you dreamt of.
I was embarrassed to be the damsel in distress once again, but I felt rather happy that James and Damien were concerned for me. Despite only knowing me for a short time, I wasn't sure if I was just courteously or if they were genuinely concerned. Cat! I'm sorry if you hear scraping on the ground. That's my cat. Stop it. I'm recording. I couldn't exactly read their minds. All right. The 2 boys led me back into the dining room where the smell of bacon and eggs danced in the air. The smell wafted the kitchen and made it away into the room, making my stomach growl in need. Breakfast smells good.
We should be done with breakfast soon. If you want to sit down at the table, you can.
I nodded before sitting down. As I sat down, however, my mind drifted back into the dream I had. That feeling of hostility around me, my body shuddering instinctively, even though I knew it wasn't real. However, as my eyes closed, I felt a hand place itself on top of my head, breaking me out of my thoughts. Huh?
Morning. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sam, the owner of the hand on my head, raised an eyebrow at me before rustling my hair and moving away to sit down at the table. He then barked towards the kitchen, where James was working.
Hey! Is the food done yet? I'm starving!
Jesus Christ.
There's no need to yell, Sam!
As you yell, James.
You're yelling too!
Oh my god.
Don't argue with me!
From behind me, Eric appeared and sat beside me, rubbing his temples in an obvious annoyance.
Can we not yell this early in the morning? It's not like we're in the castle.
Could we not scrape the ground, cat? I don't care how cute you look. Stop it. Castle? For some reason, when I heard the word castle, I couldn't help but yell in surprise. Those guys had a castle? Sam looked at me and smirked at my reaction.
Yeah, we have a castle back home. Our dining room's 10 times bigger than this room.
And wouldn't it be logical to not yell?
Whatever.
Tsundere as fuck. Soon, James and Damien appeared, hands full of plates that carried bacon, eggs, toast, and waffles. They placed the plates down by each set before seating themselves.
My favorite.
Finally.
Thank you for the breakfast. It looks amazing.
It's our pleasure.
The accursed song! All of a sudden, my phone began ringing, ushering me to pull it from my pocket and answer it. Hello?
Hey, good morning!
Naomi!
Guess who's at your door right now?
Oh, shit. Oh, no! How am I gonna explain this? Right on cue, there was a knock from the lobby door. My heart stopped. Suzu and Naomi were here. Oh, no! Oh, no.
I'll get it.
No, Matthew, do not get it! My heart quickly began to pound in my chest. Matthew was in the lobby, and he'd get the door first. I instantly jumped out of my chair and rushed to at the end of the dining room. As I passed through the archway between the dining room and lobby, I saw Matthew reach his hand for the brass door handle, causing the world to go into slow motion. Matthew, don't! But before my words could reach his ears, Matthew had opened the door and revealed the surprised faces of Naomi and Suzu. Yeah! That's why I said don't do that, Matthew! The world around me stopped as Suzu and Naomi kept their eyes on Matthew, who merely stared back in fear and embarrassment. I could feel the air go from warm to freezing in a matter of seconds. Hi.
Hi?
I could not believe this was happening. How was I going to explain this? This week was already bad enough. To make matters worse, I was frozen in place because of God's sake, someone do something other than stand there.
Who are you?
Suzu, let me explain.
What's going on here?
Who's at the door, Matthew?
Oh my god, no! Why did all of you have to come out? Soon the other incubi appeared in the lobby with us. The situation was not getting petty. I had to think fast. Cat, I can't think fast with you screaming! I had to think fast. The visitors!
Then why did one of them open the door? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It was no use. There was no time to lie to them. I felt helpless. Then I felt my hand on my shoulder, and I felt the tension in my body almost fade away. I turned my head to see James smile at me before stepping in front of me. Oh.
We must apologize, ladies. We know this situation must be confusing for everyone. Let's take this to the dining room and we'll explain everything.
I stared at James wide-eyed. Was he going to tell them who they were? Everything seemed surreal. Before I knew it, I was led to the dining room along with Suzu and Naomi and sat across from their confused gazes. As Naomi and Suzu sat down, Eric and Matthew placed their untouched plates of food in front of them, surprising their guests.
Whoa, this looks amazing! Thank you!
Our pleasure, ladies. We hope you enjoy your meals.
Make sure you dig in!
I looked at Naomi and Suzu as they began to eat, visibly enjoying every bite they placed in their mouth. Hopefully the food would ease their minds for whatever James wanted to reveal. As Naomi and Suzu ate their impromptu meals, James and the other boys stood behind my chair, making me grow more red in the face.
So, Anderson, are you gonna tell us what's going on?
Well, you see, Gently, James placed a hand on my shoulder again, signaling me to just eat my food. As I began to eat, he spoke to Naomi and Suzu.
We are Miss Anderson's house servants. We were hired by her late grandfather to help around the mansion, but since he has passed, we now assist Miss Anderson with living on her own.
That makes sense. It's such a huge house.
A huge house for a wonderful princess such as Miss Anderson deserves the greatest of servants to care for it.
But why are you all dressed so casually and stuff? Aren't servants supposed to have uniforms or whatever?
Well, Miss Anderson allows us to get comfy while we work, so she lets us wear casual clothes.
Yeah, something like that.
We're sorry if we made the situation awkward earlier.
We're very sure that Miss Anderson is also still getting used to having us as her servants. It would be very hard to explain after just a day.
I guess.
So, if I may ask, what brings you two ladies here?
Well, we wanted to see how our friend was doing. Since it's the weekend and all, usually we hang out and just chill. Yeah, like going to the arcade and stuff. Or the Pink Lady Cafe.
There's an arcade?
That makes a lot of sense, ladies. Well, we don't wish to disturb you any further than we have, so we'll take our leave and start preparing the house.
Huh? Preparing for what?
We gotta prep the house for some sort of housewarming party thing.
Our princess's parents requested a housewarming party to be held here soon.
And by soon, they mean tonight.
Oh, well, I guess we can help out or something. Right, Naomi? I thought you wanted to go to the arcade. This housewarming thing is more important.
No need. We can handle it. If you'd like to, miss, you can go out with your friends while we handle things here.
Seriously?
Sam, not now.
Well, I wanted to help out, but at the same time, I want to go out with my friends. James just gave me a look of understanding, letting me know that if I left, everything would be okay. I had to make a decision. I mean, it's personally me, I would want to stay and help. I'm just that picky, so I'm going to stay and help around the house.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Besides, it's my housewarming party. I should help out too.
Want us to help out as well?
I think we got it all taken care of. Thanks though, girls.
All right. We'll head on out then, so we're not in the way.
Sorry, guys. I'll hang out with you guys soon.
It's all good, Anderson. We'll definitely come to the housewarming party tonight.
Thank you. I led them back into the lobby and walked them to the doors, opening it for them with a thankful smile. They both gave me hugs before walking out to Namu's car, which was parked in the driveway. With that, they left. I was happy they wanted to help, but I had to do this on my own. It was not their work, so I didn't want to force it on them just because they were my best friends. We had the entire day to work. The party was tonight, and we had to do all we could to make everything all right. We sat down and talked about what needed to happen before the party started that night. Each guy had been assigned a different part of the party to do, and right after lunch, we began to work. Since everything was taken care of by at least one incubus, James told me I could assist one of them. The question is, who? Since we're going with James, I'm gonna go with him. Sorry. Oh my god. James and I headed out of the garden. It had been years since I have been in the small field. The gazebo was smaller than I remembered, but it had grown since I'd last seen it. James rolled up his sleeves and took in a breath of air before sighing contentedly.
So, we need to cater to the plants and make sure there are no muddy spots in the grass. It may take a while. Are you sure you wish to help me and not the others?
I shook my head, rolling up my sleeves as well. I can handle it. I'd rather work outside anyway. James nodded with a smile before handing me a watering can, gesturing to the ground of flowers by the side of the yard. I walked over and began to water the flowers. However, a silence took control in the air. I felt the need to start a conversation. Yeah, ask him a question. So, do you like flowers? I wanted to smack myself. That was a terrible conversation starter. I mentally smacked myself before hearing James chuckle softly. I turned to look at him as he nodded.
They have a wonderful aesthetic. Many people would think that flowers are simple and rather boring, but I've learned secrets about flowers.
Secrets about flowers? What? Like a special way to water them or something?
You could say that. There are right and wrong ways to water flowers.
Can you show me? James gave me a small smirk before walking over and standing behind me. I instantly blushed as he brought his arms underneath mine, guiding my watering can. The water gently poured over the dirt, sinking into it and dissolving into the roots. However, my concentration on the water was broken by the sound of James' voice in my ear.
Flowers need to be cared for gently, like a fragile light. Too much power and they'll break, but too little and they'll wither and fade away. It's like caring for a pet or a loved one.
Aww. Sweet boy! Sweet boy! A loved one? For some reason, those three words echoed in my head. James continued to guide my watering can, using gentle hands to lead my arms and my body. It was almost like a dance. Eventually, he let go and stepped away from me. I turned to him as he simply smiled at me before returning his work. I felt my face with my hand, feeling the extreme warmth before shaking my head and continuing to water the remaining plants. The hour of the house party had arrived. In my mind, I kept double and triple checking the essentials for the party. Knowing my dad, he invited us business partners and executives of the Anderson Company to show me off. I stood in front of my mirror in my room, staring at my form as a million thoughts ran through my mind. It was just a housewarming party, but at the same time it wasn't. It was my chance to show my dad and that I was better than his expectations. It was a chance for me to see my parents as a woman. It was my test to see if I was really ready to live on my own. Well, not truly alone. I had the incubi to thank. But even so, I didn't want my dad guiding me or my mom helping me through living alone. A knock on my door broke my thoughts, surprising me. Who is it?
Hey, are you okay in there? Your parents should be here soon, so you should hurry getting ready.
Well, I'm ready, but...
But what? I'm sure you look fine, Anderson. Just come on out.
All right. As soon as I opened the door to the hall, I watched Naomi and Suzu's face turn from smiles to complete awe-struck stares. What?
Dude, you look hot. Yeah, you look amazing. Where did you get that dress?
I've had it for a while. I just never had the chance to wear it. I figured I might as well bring it out now. I stepped out of the room and closed my bedroom door behind me. As I walked down the hall to the grand lobby, the incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed up in to the nines as proper servants.
Whoa, they really know how to dress well, don't they?
Yeah. I was slightly taken aback on how great the boys looked in uniform. Each had their own pose of a perfect gentleman, even Sam. I slowly began to climb down the steps, with Suzu and Naomi behind me. The boys watched as I descended the staircase one step at a time, like knights waiting for their princess. I felt my face slightly flush, but I quickly shook my head to try and regain my thoughts. As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me and walked me down to the final step, smiling.
As beautiful as a princess, miss.
I love you, James. I love you so much. Thank you.
So, are you prepared for tonight?
I couldn't deny that I was nervous, but I had to try. This party was more important than what it seemed, and I had done all that I could to prepare for it. Now it was all up to fate. The other boys smiled assuring at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time. Almost right on cue, the doorbell rang. I gulped. I could practically feel my dad's aura from behind the door. Sam and Eric quickly rushed to the door, opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents both dressed in their best. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Oh my, I didn't know your bequeathment came with servants.
It was probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny good service?
I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys. They didn't even ask for verification or anything. I looked at the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intently at my parents. Were they using their powers on them? They had to be. There was no way they'd be okay with it otherwise.
I guess the servants counted as belongings to the house.
My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It had only been a couple of days, but living away from the ones who raised me are hard. My mother soon let go of me and looked at my outfit.
Gorgeous. You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
I looked at my dad, who was looking around the lobby like an inspector. I stood my ground waiting for him to look at me. When he did, he let a small smile grace his lips.
Your mother's right. You look like you're all grown up.
The world around me stopped as my heart pounded hard in my chest. Did my dad just compliment me on his own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear at his words. I was beyond speechless. Thank you, Daddy. However, his cold face quickly returned as he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
Who invited them? I didn't ask for this shit. My potential?
To become CEO of the company.
Did I ever say I wanted to be that? I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had to become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but as I nodded in response, I looked to the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Suzu raise their thumbs at me for the encouragement. I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden the main hall of the lobby was full of guests. Men and women in formal or business attire showed up to meet me and see my new house. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook hands with many officials, executive members putting on the professional face my dad trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I had to hide it well behind a small smile and handshake. Many even asked me questions. I tried my best to reply as maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
What?
I'm so sorry about your grandfather passing away. It really hit all of us hard.
Oh.
Do you have college plans? Do you have college plans?
Yes. I feel like I fucked up. I felt like the questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't about me. They were about the company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
I'll get
What
back
do you
on track
think of
soon.
the philanthropic policy the company has?
Do you think the company should expand from just toys?
It's a possibility. Eventually, the questions stopped and I was back to being myself. Naomi and Susie were mingling in the crowds and the incubi were doing their jobs. So I was all alone in the room full of strangers. I have never felt so stressed. I was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly, though, my mom pushed her away through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple of years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
Sure. As I placed my hand in his, he raised his lips and kissed over my knuckles. I felt my face burn slightly to the gesture. Andrew smiled at me before raising my hand.
I'm honored to be invited here.
My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew?
So, you organized this party very well, Miss Anderson. You're welcome. Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh properly before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You've helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he talked about me. That would explain everyone's fascination with me and the other rather personal questions. I looked to Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off, and I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be hiding something. Whether it was good or bad, I was not able to find out. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was Dad, giving me a cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense.
So, you're Jared's son.
Oh, shit. Andrew's body twitched slightly. Whether it was fear or insult, Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become, enough to break at the word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
Well...
I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO. I thought the vice chairman wanted the position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
Of course not, sir.
And polite as well. Interesting.
If you'll excuse me.
Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people. Yeah, that was really awkward for him. I quickly followed Andrew, wanting to be sure he was alright. I felt a little embarrassed that my dad put him through the spot like that. I had to apologize. We wound up outside. The stars practically danced on the grass as we stood. Oh, shit. Oh, no. It had been my first time in the years being out there, and my thoughts weren't on the nostalgia. Hey, Andrew? Andrew turned to me in surprise. However, his face was completely red in both embarrassment and humiliation. I felt terrible.
Oh, I didn't see you or hear you following. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I should be the one to apologize.
What for? You didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, for the way my dad behaved. He shouldn't have been so...
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, I should have expected it and been more prepared.
He's adorable. No better than my James, though. Andrew rubbed the back of his neck and gave a goofy grin. It was intriguing seeing Andrew's professional side and then seeing a goofy smile away from everyone. Still, I'm sorry for that.
It's not a problem, really, but thank you.
We both smiled at each other before I reached my hand out to him. He tilted his head and raised his eyebrow in confusion. Jalina. My name is Jalina. And understanding his smile returned before he took my hand gently and shook it.
That's a pretty name. I'm happy to know it now.
Nah, it's not that nice.
I have to disagree with you. It's much better than Andrew. I mean, who names their kid Andrew?
You're really gonna play that card. A lot of people do.
But how about Axel or Ace? Something cool like that.
I couldn't help but laugh at him. He was pretty chill for a guy who was supposed to be the vice president and chairman's son. He grinned and laughed along with me. I don't know why, but I felt warm, whether it was almost non-existent breeze or the situation we found ourselves in. It felt nice.
Lewis.
Oh, shit! Oh, Dad, no! And just like that, the feeling had vanished. We both turned to see my dad at the door of the mansion. Staring at Andrew with almost a deadly glare, Andrew straightened up, trying to maintain a business posture.
Yes, sir?
Your limo is in the front. The driver has requested that you return home. Now.
Oh, so you mean you?
Oh, all right. Thank you, sir.
Andrew quickly nodded to me before speeding back into the mansion to leave. As I took a step to follow, my dad stepped in front of me. Dad?
I don't want to hear it. Do not become friendly with him. He wants to take the company away from us. You have no reason to be friends with him.
You're telling me to run my own company, you're telling me to live on my own, and you're trying to tell me who my friends should be. You want to talk about something? Before I could retort, my dad turned away and walked back inside, muttering about how the party was nearing an end. I sighed and entered the house as well, wanting for the party to end immediately. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, and my parents and the incubi were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him. A wave of confusion washed over my face. What?
You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Oh, thank you, Dad.
Keep it up, and you'll be a good CEO.
Oh, right.
All right. Your mother and I have to leave. I'm sure Naomi and Suzu need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
Oh, right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party. We'll come visit tomorrow or something. All right?
All right. See ya.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
Will do. All four of the remaining guests left the building, but all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase exhausted. Phew, that was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
She handled herself the best she could.
As expected, Princess.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Ugh.
Hush, Sam.
Are you guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Ho ho ho! It didn't take long to find you little shits after all.
Where did you come from? I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. The voice of my dreams echoed through the air and in my ears. I looked around, panicked, alongside the incubi. James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to remain calm.
Don't worry. No one will hurt you.
What just happened?
Are you sure? Are you really sure?
All of us shot our heads toward the door, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. The doors quickly swung open, revealing a sight I would have never expected to see. What the fuck? Skin red as blood, eyes black and gold piercing into mine, roughed up clothes and a pistol in his hand. I saw a monster. I covered my mouth to not scream at the sight. Dried blood covered the bandana around his neck as he smirked. at me and the boys around me. Besides, the red-skinned man was similar-looking woman in matching thug-like clothes.
Oh, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you?
I hoped you would, you piece of...
All of a sudden, the man raised his gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger. The fuck? Did he just die? Okay. We all gasped in shock, instinctively expecting to see a bullet run through Sam's face, but...
What the fuck?
What?
What should have been a headshot ended with a loud but empty blank shot. The pistol echoed in the empty shots as the man grew more and more pissed, pulling the trigger over and over in aggravation. Luckily for my ears, it became quieter after the first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
This place is protected.
What did you say, Shrimp?
This place has a seal, protecting it from hellborn magic.
Oh,
what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The man growled through his gun at Sam, who was visibly to dodge in it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple of times before sliding further away, hitting the wall in its final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into a black flame that disappeared into the air.
The previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malix.
Malix, that was his name. His entrance resented in the memory of the dream I had. However, I looked to Matthew in the same confusion as Malix did. This place is protected by magic?
It would seem that your grandfather had some sort of protective barrier around this house. From the looks of it, it only disables hellborn magic.
Malix's face grew to that of extreme anger, his fist tightening as if he was crushing a stress ball.
And what's stopping me from dragging your asses out and shooting you then?
So much aggression in such a small man. Out of pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed myself between Malix and the boys. With no power, Malix wasn't going to fight. I took that chance to stand up to him instead of being powerless like I was in the dream. Malix growled at me, walking right up to me and leaning close to my face. I glared back, feeling my courage skyrocket.
Since when does a little stain like you give orders to a guy who can rip your pretty little head from your body?
You really don't think, do you? If you kill me, you'd be hunted down by more than just the police.
You little...
All of a sudden, I felt a hand grip my hair and pull it back, forcing me to cry out and stare up at Malix. His eyes bored into mine as he chuckled in my face.
Hey! Let her go!
Sam! Eric!
Within more seconds, Sam had punched Malix square in the jaw, forcing him to let my hair go. I fumbled it back. Eric caught me in his arms, gently pulling me away from Malix and back into their group.
Come on, Sam. You and me, right here. Let's go!
Come on, asswipe!
Jesus! So much violence! However, before both could fight, the woman stepped forward and placed a firm grip on Malix's shoulder.
That's enough, Malix.
What? Who do you think you're speaking to, woman?
The girl who's going to help you kill them. Just not now.
Not now?
I stared at the girl, spoke down at Malix. She looked the same, just like a pure evil. However, she seemed to be concerned for Malix, or for me.
There's 5 of them, and 2 of us. Even if we come back with the gang, they can have the place surrounded by human police.
Then we shoot everyone!
Think! If we shoot everyone, we'll be hunted. And it'll be a matter of time before makeshift paladins come and try to exorcise us.
Jesus Christ, his voice acting is just like aggressive as hell. The two growled at each other. If they could have used their magic, I could sense that fire would glow from underneath their teeth. Malix grunted and glared at the boys. He pointed at James, wanting so badly to use his finger like a knife.
Just wait, pretty boys. We'll get you and fuck you up real good.
Jesus Christ. Then Malix turned to me, moving his finger to point directly between my eyes.
And don't think you're safe. Step outside. I dare you.
I ain't listening to that laugh. Fuck that. With that, Malix and the woman walked out of the mansion. The doors closed behind them, leaving the boys and I alone once again. I felt my knees give out from under me, forcing the boys to quickly turn to catch me.
Whoa! Are you alright?
Yeah, why was he here?
He's been closely tracking us. Our blood trail from the forest must have led him here.
We should have stopped him and finished it here.
For once, Matthew, I agree with you.
Stood up and rubbed my arms, feeling the goosebumps Malik's left behind on me. I couldn't stop myself from shivering in fear of his words. Malik's. Is he a demon?
That son of a bitch is not a demon. He's a devil.
A devil? There's a difference?
Yes. Demons come from a different plane of existence called the abyssal planes. Devils, however, come from one of the 7 circles of a place humans know as hell. Despite us not being human, we are very different creatures.
We actually have brains, for one. Devils always like to cause trouble and try to kill or torture others for their own enjoyment. Demons, like us, know when to use our powers and when not to. We're not stupid.
Devils follow orders from higher-ups in their order, and their power only comes from their connection to hell. Demons all have free wills and don't rely on where they came from to use their powers.
This was all so confusing. Demons and devils and magic all existed, and I happened to land in the middle of it. What do we do?
You're safe. You've been protected as well.
What?
What Damien's saying is that the magic that protects this place also protects you.
Your grandfather must have cast it when you last saw him or something of that nature. We can sense its aura around your body.
I couldn't believe my ears. It was the third day of surprises, and this one took the cake, in being the most surprising. I felt my head spin once again. What did I get myself into?
Miss, please don't worry. We'll find a way to train ourselves and become stronger to finally finish this feud.
I'm gonna kick his ass right now!
Until then, we'll protect you as much as we can. If Malix comes back, we'll be here for you.
But what about going outside? Won't he...
Like we said, you have a protection spell on you. Even if Malix attacks you, he won't be able to use his magic on you. He'd be just like any other human you can fight back against.
Didn't you say you knew Taekwondo?
Well, yeah. I felt somewhat relieved that I was mostly safe from Malix. Still, I could not help but feel very nervous and apprehensive about the future. The boys were safe here to train and become stronger, but what if Malix did the same? Even more so, I was lost about how my grandfather knew about magic. I had to find out. At least I had time. And for that, we are going to end this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we're about to see whether or not we can fight off Malix. So, I hope you guys stay in tune for the next episode, and hope you guys have a great night and day. Bye!